Everybody, it's Charles and I'm here with a special guest, Leslie. How you doing, Leslie?
I'm doing great.
Yay, so for you guys that don't know who Leslie is an amazing friend, and also she's been a client of mine for a year, and we've been working together, and we have some fantastic news. Why don't you tell them what the fantastic news is?
I'm so excited. I've lost over 35 pounds and
Oh my gosh, so you lost over 35 pounds.
Yes.
With like a whole regimen that I helped her create, and she's been juicing a lot. Tell us how you lost all this weight. I mean, this is amazing.
So I started with the juice fast to jumpstart my weight loss. I did that for 10 days straight.
Was that a little difficult though?
It was, but not as difficult, because the way we did it was that we actually did for a month, we just incorporated juices into whatever I was doing already. So I was eating as normally, which was really bad eating, but I started adding a juice a day, and then it went to 2 juices a day, 3 juices a day, until I got to a point where I was juicing about 4 to 5 juices a day, and like having one meal, and I would snack, like I'd have like nuts or like the little small things that, you know, Charles really helped me out in picking. And when I did my fast, it was so much easier. I really couldn't imagine doing it, you know, any other way.
I love that you took baby steps too, and she didn't jump right into it. She added juices into her diet, and she was still eating, which is so important, right?
Yeah, and I think it's because it's a mental thing. Like, you know, when you're not eating, you're like, I'm not eating, and you set your mind, and it's almost like setting up yourself for fail. So since I was eating, but I was drinking, I was already full, so even the meals that I was having were really small. And there was a point where I was just losing 2 pounds a day, and it was just like, everything was just cleaner, like my headaches went away, my allergies went away, like just everything. My skin started getting really clear. Just even like your body odors like go away, everything. I mean, like just everything. I'm getting pretty honest here, but
it's good.
I mean, I'm serious. Like everything just changes, and I mean, just when you see like those really immediate changes, you're like, okay, this is working. Like we're on to something.
And how did you feel like when you did the juices? Like,
well, you know, I was expecting, you know, because I read a lot about it, and you know, you get different opinions. But I actually, like, I didn't feel the fatigue that everybody talks about in the beginning.
Wow.
Or the headaches or anything.
That's good.
And I think that month that we did the whole baby steps before really helped out, because I was just like, there was so much energy. My thinking process was a lot clearer.
Yes.
And, you know, I have sort of a, like, short temper, and my patience was, like, beyond, like I wasn't getting angry anymore. I was just like, all of a sudden I was like, oh, I want to take a walk, and I'm like smiling more. Like I was just like in a whole different like field. Like,
do you feel it was a part of taking out the meat maybe, because you know the meat?
Yeah, that's another thing. Let's talk about that. Like I used to, I mean, I'm Hispanic. Like we have meat like since we wake up. We're like we wake up and it's like, here, steak for breakfast. So yeah, I took
steak for snack.
Steak for snack, and like everything, and like before bed to go to sleep. Like it was just, I didn't realize how much meat I was having in my diet until I took it out. And it wasn't a conscious thing. I didn't say like I didn't take it out. It kind of gradually happened. Like, you know, I didn't need it. Like I didn't feel like, you know, before I would make a meal and be like the protein, you know, was like the biggest part of the meal. Now I didn't need it because I was already full. And I made like, I just saw the stuff on my plate get more green and more raw.
And more colors.
Yeah, a lot more colors, and I didn't need it. Like I did not need it. And in fact, when I was having it, like I'd have it like, say when the family get-togethers, like they're still eating meat. I would eat it and I'd feel so sluggish, like I'd have to take a nap.
Wow.
And that was the biggest thing for me, and I realized that because before I was so tired, and I work on set like all day, like hours on end. So
she's a workaholic.
Yeah, I worked like, you know, 16 hours a day and 14 hours a day, and I would always be so tired, and I think it was work, but it was the food I was eating.
The craft services you have, junk food available to you
all the time.
24/7.
And you know, and another thing I realized was the fact that I was eating just because I was bored. You know, sometimes like I'm on set waiting for things to happen, and I'd just be like munching, and I realized, ooh. So that was another thing. Instead of like munching on like processed stuff. I'd be munching like on like
veggies.
Yeah, veggies,
fruits.
like really simple stuff. At first, it was just like boring stuff like carrots, and I was like, oh, I don't know about doing this. Then, like, Charles helped me get like a little more creative with those snacks, and I realized it was just like just the action, chewing something.
It's a ritual, yeah.
Like a ritual, like a habit I had. And with the juicing, I didn't need to like bite on something or chew on something whatsoever. So that was a whole different thing.
So you brought up something earlier. You said something about how your friends and family started noticing.
Yeah.
I want to know, what was their reaction to you changing your lifestyle? This is a huge shift.
Well, at first I got the whole like, well, where are you getting your protein from? Like that big, question. And I'm just like, I started telling him like what the difference is, like of where you get your carbs from veggies and fruits and like protein and all kinds of things. And but they were a little skeptical. They really saw it as a you're not eating kind of thing. And I'm like, no, I am eating. Like, this is really like my meal. Like, I'm completely satisfied with this. And cheers. Now, like, they're juicing with me. I have like a lot of my friends who are like, they got their juicers. They're
That's
juicing
amazing.
with me. My mom's juicing now.
Wow.
My sister also, she has a condition with her kidneys, and which she has to go get tested like every 3 months. So since she's been changing her diet too and juicing, like, the protein levels and everything has like reduced. They're taking her off medication. Like, that's like some crazy stuff. So all around, it's been really awesome. So I'm happy.
So what tips can you give to some people who are in a similar situation where they want to change their diet? It's a new year. They want to change their life. And how would you? What tips would you give to them?
Well, I love doing the whole add a juice to your diet, because if you really think about it, how many times a day do you really like eat vegetables? Like, even if you get like some vegetables, it's gonna be a little amount. And whatever you're eating, you need to balance it out with some greens. So I would say juicing for me honestly has been a game changer, because I get everything I need as far as vegetables in a drink. And
it's like a multivitamin.
Yeah, exactly. And you feel it right away. Like, right away you'll feel the energy, you feel better, you feel less bloated, you don't get headaches, my allergies are gone, like all kinds of things.
Yeah,
like,
so many good benefits.
and that's another thing, like, so many people look at me and they're like, wow, your skin looks great and everything, what makeup are you using? I'm like, oh, I'm actually like not wearing that much makeup.
That's amazing.
That's pretty cool.
What would you say to people who are like, oh, but juicing takes too long, it's so time consuming?
Yeah. Okay, I go to the market.
You're busy, yeah.
Yeah, I'm busy. I go to the market as soon as I get home. Like, I wash everything, and then I put it back in those little bags. And if
So
there's like
smart.
anything I have to cut, like, I cut it beforehand, and it's all ready. I put it in tubs, and literally I get 1 tub for the day, juice that, and then I go. So if you do your prep, like when you do prep aside, like before.
That's the key, I think.
That's the key.
Prep work.
Really, and you separate everything, because I think the whole notion of like pulling everything out and washing it and then juicing, that's really hard for people.
It's an act of self-love, though. I think of it that
really
way.
is.
Instead of being like, oh.
For me, it's now like, it's a whole, like, it's me time. Like, I sit down and I'm like, I get to like be in gratitude, and I get to like really look
abundance.
Yeah, and I look at the food that I'm washing as this is the fuel. This is what I'm feeding my body for taking me through the day. So it's like my meditation time. I clean it, I separate it, and I get it ready, and that's it. Like, in the mornings, I just put it all together and juice. And now, like, at first I started with 1 juicer. Now I have 2.
Okay.
I have a cold press now.
Nice.
Which I
Fancy.
like.
Fancy.
Fancy, huh?
She's advanced now. What?
And I love it because it actually keeps my juices like a little fresher. So if I have a really early call time, I can juice the night before and then take it with me the next day.
And what you do is you also put them in mason jars.
I do.
It stores it longer.
It does.
Too, right?
It stores it longer, and it's better in glass. If you read up all the stuff, they don't advise you to put it in plastic.
Yeah,
they tell you
because
put
of
it
the
in glass.
BPA and all of that.
Exactly. Yes. So all this is BPA free, and you fill it to the top, so there's no air and all that stuff. But I mean, Charles has been great. He's been walking me through it. He's been helping me with recipes. And
oh my gosh, I am so proud of you, Leslie.
Thank you. Oh my god.
Yes. She's such an amazing friend, and I am so happy for you. And
Thank
2014 is filled with opportunities, filled with so many things.
I know, I'm
and
really excited.
I'm excited for both of us.
excited.
And
Yay.
cheers to everyone.
Cheers.
Lots of love.
Bye.
Join me and Leslie for a 7-day detox. For more information, check out rawyouth.org or book a one-on-one consultation with me to reclaim your health and make 2014 the best year ever.